Changing mags.
PIAV dropping in. Hostiles at Bravo.
What's up, guys? This is going to be a video on my favorite class in Modern Warfare. Keep in mind, this is mainly a ground war and 20v20 setup. If I was playing 6v6, I'd probably tweak some of the things. I wouldn't go with as much plus range stuff, and I'd probably speed up the ADS a little bit. But it absolutely can work in 6v6, but I'm kidding the gun more around taking out people at range, and you'll see that here in a minute. So let's get into the attachments on my primary gun. Primary gun, AK-47, obviously. Suppressor, I like the monolithic suppressor for a few reasons. One, sound suppression increases the range, which is kind of interesting. I think this is the first CoD where the suppressor can actually increase the range. It's kind of weird. But also, one thing that the suppressors do is that they hide your muzzle flash, which is really nice. And that, now this might be tinfoil hat here, but I feel like the monolithic suppressor makes your recoil less. Now that could just be the muzzle flash and making it more manageable because you can see more. But damn, does it feel like it makes you have less recoil. It could just be in my head thing. And it probably is the muzzle flash now that I think about it. But highly recommend the monolithic suppressor. It's pretty good. Give it a shot. Next up, we got the 23-inch Romanian barrel. Now, a lot of people don't like this because it slows down the AK, which is already very slow in terms of ADS. But damn, does it just make your shots super consistent in range, and it makes your bullet velocity better. And you'll see in the gameplay clips I show that this thing is basically hit scan at insane ranges. I mean, very rarely do you have to lead, and if you lead, it's just like you barely got to aim like a little bit outside their outline of their character, and you'll hit them. So then I haven't really had any bullet drop issues with this gun at all. So yeah, Romanian barrel's pretty dope. Next up, let's get to the grip. This is a pretty easy decision. Most people on most classes go with the stippled grip tape. Faster ADS, faster sprint to fire speed. Nothing really else I'd go with here. It's aiming stability and aim walk steadiness. Those are kind of lame. Like I build my gun completely out. Like almost all my attachments have had like negatives to those, and I don't feel like it really does much. I feel like those stats are kind of useless. Aim down sight speed. That's kind of an easy choice there. Now you could run the laser. The laser is going to give you more bang for your buck than the stippled grip tape, but I don't like the laser giving me away. That would be the 5 megawatt laser. Would be something I could potentially run, but I'd rather just run the grip, have it be a little bit slower, but not give away my position. Next, the optic. This optic is sick. The VLK 3.0 optic, it's just a nice dot. I think I can actually show you here what it looks like. Customize, reticle. That's the sight right there. It's just a nice zoomed in dot, no bullshit. Fantastic stuff. And that, now I know a lot of people do not like to run sights because they're of the belief that it's a waste. Like, why not just get used to using the iron sight and then you effectively have another attachment, right? The extra visibility is really good, and a lot of pro players use optics. I know you might not seem like it, but yeah, they use red dots because that easier target acquisition and that extra visibility is something that, while it might not show up on the stat sheet, is absolutely a thing. And yeah, it's nice. Now on to the big thing. On to the big thing, which is the stock. No stock. This is where I throw a monkey wrench and everything. Why? Why do I run no stock and basically shoot myself in the foot in terms of recoil? Because running no stock absolutely increases the recoil of the gun significantly. But in my opinion, you can overcome this. Now, this might be a PC thing because the way I aim the AK is I essentially, imagine you're on your desktop, right? And you're clicking and dragging and making a box to select multiple folders, right? You're clicking from the top and dragging down. Let me do that on the webcam, right? So you're clicking from the top and dragging down to make a, my orientation's fucked up. Clicking from the top and then dragging down to make a, like a square, like a box. That is how I use the AK. I don't click on people. I essentially draw boxes around them. I draw narrow boxes. And that's how I aim it, and that will overcome the recoil, because the recoil always goes up and to the right. Or that's the left for you guys, but you know what I mean. It always goes up and to the right. Now, one thing to keep in mind is that if you use the AK a lot, it's going to fuck you up on your other guns. For example, the Kilo goes up and to the left. Holy shit, I tried to use the Kilo after using the AK for like a whole day. Dude, it ain't happening, man. If you want to use the AK, you got to commit to it, and it sucks coming back to something else, because it fucks you up. So, AK, no stock. The recoil's crazy, but why do I run no stock? The main thing, and this is something that a lot of people don't think about, plus movement speed. What does that mean? I don't rush around like some crazy person in this game. Nobody can. It's just impossible. But that faster movement speed means that you can ADS and strafe faster. That's incredible. That is so powerful. People have no idea how powerful that is, to be able to strafe around a corner super quick and just take people out. It's incredibly good, particularly with the AK. It's got really good damage and range. It's really good shit. If there was more stuff that had plus movement speed that I could do, I would absolutely do it. Aim down sight speed. This no stock will really help mitigate a lot of these heavier attachments, like the muzzle makes your ADS slower. The barrel makes your ADS slower. The optic makes your ADS like 1 frame slower. Those three things, or these two in particular, especially the barrel, really make the ADS slow on a gun that's already slow. But the no stock, it's a lot of plus aim down sight speed. So I would say that the AK probably clocks in at, in terms of ADS speed, this build clocks in at about what a default assault rifle would clock in terms of ADS speed. Maybe a tad bit slower. So it is a slower weapon still in terms of ADS, but it's just a tad bit slower than a default assault rifle would be. But you have that faster movement speed, which means that you need to sort of preemptively ADS and then go around the cover or the corner or whatever you might be going around. And that is very significant. Now, speaking of movement speed, some people would say, why not just run the compact barrel, right? Even more movement speed. I'd rather have the extra damage range. As you can look at the stats here, if I run the compact barrel from the Romanian, it's significantly more range the Romanian is, and you lose the bullet velocity, and I guess it shows it right there, you lose accuracy, so I guess it does reduce the recoil some. Now, perks, nah, I don't run anything. Recon is nice, but I don't feel like it's that needed. But yeah, that's the overall setup here. As you can see, this gun is a complete abomination in terms of the aesthetic. It makes no sense. It's like super top heavy, but it's very effective. All right, now let's get into the rest of the class. For my secondary, I like to use the Pilo launcher just because it takes down air support very quickly, and I run point man, so that's worthwhile. For the perks, EOD, I cannot stand dying to claymores. It is the absolute worst. Also, this is primarily a ground war class. There's a ton of explosions, and I'm somebody that hops in a tank if I see one. And the thing about EOD that's kind of crazy is that if you're in a tank and it's getting ready to blow up, get out. If that tank blows up right beside you, EOD will save you. That's crazy. So EOD is very powerful if you're a tank player, because yeah, it'll save you. Just get the fuck out, and if it blows up right beside you, who cares? And you can typically make it to a building or whatever fast enough. Perk 2, Point Man. I love Point Man. I wish it was the default. I wish score streaks were the thing that everybody had, but they're not. And Point Man is great because it allows you to sort of freestyle the game, right? When I play with Point Man, I'm on objectives. I am shooting down air support. I'm getting kills. I'm killing tanks. I'm getting assists. I'm doing anything I want to, and it's helping me get my kill streaks, and I don't have to worry about doing, like, specifically getting kills and kind of feeling like a piece of shit if I'm not only getting kills. So I really like Point Man for that, and obviously Point Man with the tank is dope. So yeah, good shit. Perk 3, you can kind of do whatever you want. I like amped because in ground war I'm shooting down stuff, and typically when I'm in the process of shooting down stuff, I'm shooting down multiple things. Like, I'm gonna shoot down a UAV, I'm gonna also shoot down the personal UAV and the counter UAV that may be up as well. And the faster weapon swap is nice. Definitely not mandatory. You can run tune-up. You could run shrapnel. Shrapnel is probably a solid choice as well. The claymores are just insanely OP, and shrapnel with the ammo box, which I run, is dope too. So yeah. Tracker, spotter, I've never been a big fan of either of those, but whatever. Lethal, claymore, dude, obviously the claymores are just dumb. Yeah, I run it, put down your free kill, whatever. And for the tactical grenades, I've found that the flash is better than the stuns. I've been killed by people I've stunned tons of times. It's annoying. I don't know, the way this game plays, you can just get kills while you're stunned. It's weird. Smoke grenades, also a solid choice for when you get trapped and you need to run away. You just smoke your feet or whatever and get out of there. Snapshot grenade, never been a huge fan of it, but I guess. Heartbeat sensor, I never really tried it. It seems like an S&D thing. Gas grenade is alright. The stem, never been a huge fan of it. I can see why people would like it, but I play ground war, and I don't think ground war is as rush heavy enough to warrant the stem. And the decoy grenade is probably the dumbest thing in the game. I don't understand why it even exists. The radar doesn't have red dots on it when people fire, and the compass is basically unreadable most of the time anyways, particularly in ground war. So it's dumb. And that's it for the class. So now I'm going to cut into some gameplay. So here we are at the gameplay section of the video, and there's not really too much else to say other than the headshot multiplier in Call of Duty Modern Warfare is actually higher than previous CoD games, and since the AK's damage is so high already, it turns this gun into a two-hit machine. Now, that is two hits at a medium-ish range, but it makes your three-shot kill more consistent with a headshot. So you'll see me melting people across the map with 3 bullets, and if one of them's a headshot, that's more than enough if they're really far away. So, yeah, super consistent, powerful gun at range. It's very satisfying. So don't really have much else to say other than give this thing a shot, or at least give a variation of this gun a shot, because the AK is damn powerful. And it's the most powerful gun in the game next to the Odin. You would think the LMGs would be more powerful, but they're not. And look at dude on the four-wheel. Dude, get fucking destroyed, dude. Get destroyed. So, hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'll be using this. I'm gonna be using the AK quite a bit.
Reload.
We're taking out. Enemy cruise missile incoming. Hostiles taking out. Enemy UAV overhead.
This is Striker 3-1, good copy. Strike him.
Hostiles have echo. Retail on station. Enemy cruise missile incoming.
Correct here. Striker 3-2 station. Go contested.
One echo, stand by. Enemy personal radar in the air. Not taking the speed. Enemy chopper gunner on approach. We've lost C. Enemy UAV overhead. Enemy personal radar in the air. Friendly IAV dropping in.
Multiple contacts.
Heads up, we've got a gunship on the